Thanks for joining us for Weekend Winners 2022 style. This is the first meeting of the new year. We are racing on New Year's Day or New Year's night. A 9-race program at Albion Park. Action gets underway at 5:12. In this edition of Weekend Winners, which is proudly brought to you by 1Equine, I'm going to speak with Brendan Barnes and Shane Graham. We're back racing on the Saturday night circuit at Albion Park, and this is the first meeting of 2022, and we've got a 9-race program. Driver in the hot seat. First up is Brendan Barnes, and he joins us now. Brendan, appreciate the time.
No worries, Chris. Thank you.
Happy New Year as well.
Thank you. You too.
Let's start with race 1, the Rock and Roll King. This looks a really competitive race to kick off the card on the weekend, and this guy's in good form. His last start effort when beaten was really good because that last half was super fast.
Yeah, he is racing well. Obviously drawn pretty ordinary this week, but looks like plenty of early speed, and he's probably better suited coming off speed anyway.
So at this point, you plan on just going back at the start?
I think so. He's probably a much better horse if you can limit the early burn and look to get a good trip.
Just looking at those to your inside, there should be some pretty strong tempo early here. It Ain't the Money, Key Largo, First String Harps. They're all natural go-forward types, aren't they?
Yeah, for sure, and hopefully it sort of generates a bit of speed.
You were down for Kiang Marvin, but with the association with Jack, there was never any doubt that you were going to stick with the Rock and Roll King?
Yeah, always just sort of stick with Jack's horses and sort of big ownership group with some bloodstock and that horse as well. So yeah, just stick with them.
Yeah, that's the best thing about the Rock and Roll King, and when you look at this race, his versatility, and that's going to be a key part for this race.
That's right. And if he's sort of close enough turning for home, he's got a really good 200-metre sprint coming off cover. So, yeah, he can do it sort of a few ways.
Okay, let's go across to race 3. Speaking of Jack Butler and Summit Bloodstock, Deus Ex, and I'm really intrigued by this guy on Saturday night. He finally comes up with a half-decent draw. He's had a bit of a rotten run in recent times with ordinary draws. What was your first reaction when you saw the field?
Well, very happy that we drew front line, for one. But I think sort of he's been racing really well, and I think if he can get to the front, he'll take a power of beating.
Do you think you can get the front?
We'll have a really good crack, and I think he probably deserves the front. We'll just sort of have to see what they sort of think.
He's been really good at his past couple of starts, but he just seems like he's a different horse when in front. He swells up and he becomes a monster.
Yeah, for sure, and sort of driving him off cover, we've been really happy with him as well. Like last start, he was a good thing beat. Not too many horses sort of get held up like he did round the corner and sort of flood to the line like he did. So I don't think he's sort of a one-trick pony, but he's a lot more happy and a lot more tractable when he can do his own thing. Just
looking at those last 2 starts, he was 3rd behind Scarlet Babe last time out. 2 starts ago, he chased home Governor Jujon in that band final. They were really good efforts, and the sectionals were really strong.
Yeah, for sure. He definitely hasn't disgraced himself, and both runs sort of have been full of merit.
Okay, well, he looks a really good chance there. Deus Ex in race 3. Race 4, Princess Danica. She comes up from New South Wales for trainer Gemma Hewitt. This is going to be her 3rd run back on the weekend. I thought the first up run was pleasing. Much better last time out, but she probably just lost her momentum getting into the home straight. Would you agree or disagree with that?
Yeah, definitely. She got held up a little bit, and I sort of ummed and ahed if I maybe should have come off around the corner, but sort of looking at it, she probably still only just runs 3rd, but the run was really good, and she should just keep improving week by week.
Okay, it's a tough gate here on Saturday night. Early thoughts, likely to drift back?
I'd say so. It's pretty even field, and I don't think she's out of the money.
Yeah, it looks very even, doesn't it, this field? There's no standout.
No, for sure.
Okay, so she's a capable type there, Princess Danica. Race 5, you picked up the drive on the Harvey Bay. His first up run was excellent. I think he was first up since September, no trials. So he's going to improve a lot out of that. What are the expectations here on Saturday night?
Yeah, obviously he's a pretty nice horse that when he's right, he can do sort of plenty of work, and he doesn't seem to get tired. And sort of every time he's had a little spell, it seems to have taken him a few runs to get back, and every start he just seems to get better and better.
Yeah, he looks like he just lacks that high point-to-point speed, but he's got a very high cruising speed. 2,138 metres seems ideal for him.
Yeah, I think it definitely suits for sure.
Okay, so you won't be afraid to sit parked out in that type of race?
I'll have to see what sort of where he thinks he's at, and they drove him a little bit quieter last start, but yeah, I think if he thinks he's pretty right, well then, yeah, he's definitely a horse. He normally makes his own luck and likes to keep him pretty honest.
Sure. Race number 6, you're down to drive number 5, Franco Hampton. He was a winner here 2 starts ago. Last time out, 6th. What did you make of that effort last time out?
Yeah, he went good. He just sort of lost the back of him when they sprinted down the back straight and then just wanted to hang a little bit around the last corner. But I thought he got to the line really good and sort of prior to that he'd been racing really well off cover.
Is Squire the horse to beat coming off his Redcliffe Christmas Cup effort?
I think so. It was a really good run, that, and yeah, I think from the draw he makes it a bit harder to beat him.
Do you give Franco Hampton a chance, though, of knocking him off?
If there's any sort of decent tempo and it's sort of not a real dash home late, he'll definitely be hitting the line.
All right. Your final drive on Saturday night comes through in race 7. You've picked up the drive on Voodoo Lou for Gemma Hewitt. She's first up, but she's had a couple of trials. What are you expecting here on Saturday night?
Yeah, she's been trialling really well. We thought her latest trial was really impressive, and once again, there's no real standout in that field, and she's probably, I think she can go close in that if she lives up to a trial form.
Okay, she chased home Uncle Shank in that trial, and they went 54-4 there, so that effort was really good. On paper, there's no standout in this field, is there?
No, there's not, and sort of when she's right, she can do a fair share of work, and she's got good gate speed, so we'll just have to sort of see and play it by ear.
Any plans for her going forward?
Not really. We'll sort of probably just have to, sit down and have a bit of a closer look at it and make up a plan.
Okay, but she's a tough type and she's trialling well, so a bold effort fresh up is expected.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. What's the pick of your drives at this early stage?
I'd say Deus Ex, I reckon.
Deus Ex, race 3, number 3, Deus Ex. We'll put the circle around him. Brendan, as always, really appreciate the time. We'll see you trackside.
No worries, Chris. Thank you.
Shane Graham with a big book of drives, as you would expect on a Saturday night, and he jumps in the hot seat to join us now. Shane, appreciate the time.
No worries, Chris.
Happy New Year as well. Hopefully it starts well for you on the weekend. You've got no doubt in race 1, and now with the early scratching of Italian Lad, he'll move to the inside of the second row. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Yeah, it's probably, either way, he had a pretty good draw for him. He likes that, just sitting off the speed. It's probably a fair jump up in class for him, but he's just one of those horses. I think he will sort of take that next step because he likes to follow the tempo.
Looking at this front line, though, it looks hard to sort of map how it's going to play out because there's several here that can get off the gate quickly.
Yeah, that's right. It looks like there'll be quite an early burn to the first turn. So, probably from where we're sitting, the harder they go for that first 200, the better it is for us.
You gave us a good push for this guy last time out when he won. He ended up being 3 fence, and that might be a similar type role he's got to play again this weekend.
Yeah, that's right. He sort of got pushed back, but he still finished off well. So it is a step up in class for him, but being on the fence and, it always helps.
Okay, race 2, you're driving Sweet Gemma. She was a lot better last time out, and she lands a good gate here on the weekend. Are you confident?
Yeah, no, much happy with her. She's had a bit of a rough sort of trip since she's been up here. Not much has gone her way, but last start was a much better effort and first up in a long time. So from the draw, I think she'll be hard to beat.
Was it a tough choice between her and She's Koala Tea, or were you always leaning towards Sweet Gemma?
Nah, I was probably always leaning towards Sweet Gemma just on the way she went last start.
Okay, so she's a good chance there in race 2. She's Koala Tea. She backs up from Tuesday night. Can she fill a role as well?
Yeah, she could. She's it's probably a step up in her from what she's been racing, but she's been racing quite consistent, since she's come from Bathurst. So, the draw's definitely a plus for her, and she's going to get a good trip there. All
right, race 3, Elaguila. This guy's in form. He's chasing a hat-trick of wins. He is rising in grade. How do you rate his chances here?
Yeah, look, it is a step up for him, and, it's probably not the best draw for him out there. He'll probably have to go back from there, I'd say. But in saying that, he is a good horse in front, but I think he is just as good off the speed. So if he gets the right trip, he'll be getting home hard.
There is going to be good tempo in this race. Nürburgring 1, Deus Ex 3, and then you've got Rock and Roll Icon, Our Major Day, and they're all, useful types off the gate, so there should be a good tempo here.
Yeah, that's right. Nürburgring, he's gone better his last few in that, and from the draw, he'll be looking to hold up, and Deus Ex, he's been drawing the back line a bit lately, so, we've just got to rely on a bit of tempo on that to help us get home.
This guy is versatile, though, isn't he, Elaguila?
He is, it's only that he has been drawing good where we have led on him, but he definitely doesn't have to lead to win, he can come off a helmet and, when he does get up in grade and does, we'll have to do that more. But like you said, it's when he's got the gate speed he does, it's, you know, we always use it, but he doesn't have to lead to win, no.
Okay. Race number 4, you're down to drive Soho Sinatra. 2 starts ago, really unlucky. How did you grade the effort last time out when he was 3rd?
Yeah, no, he was 2 starts back. Yeah, he was very unlucky. He got home good, and you know, he looked like he probably could have nearly won it with a better trip. But last start, yeah, I was happy with him. He run his race in a bit patches. He was sort of going a long way out, but the form stacked up good out of that race with I think both horses that beat him home. They've been in the finish again since. So he, you know, it probably was not bad form race.
Okay, how does this race map early? Again, there's a number of horses off the arm that can, you know, more than hold their own. So how do you think this will play out early?
Yeah, it does look that way, doesn't it? You know, he sort of gets off the gate. I wouldn't say he's brilliant, you know, but he gets out all right. So we've probably got to work forward. But yeah, no, it'll be an interesting first couple hundred. All
right, race 6, you're down to drive Bo Chisholm. He was unplaced last time out. Were you happy or disappointed?
Nah, he was very ordinary last start. He, you know, all his lead-up runs, he'd been, you know, I was very happy with him, especially 2 starts back. But last week he was very plain, so he, I think the little freshen up over Christmas would help him.
Okay, is Squire the horse to beat? This is the horse that stretched you in the Redcliffe Christmas Cup with LL Cool J. He looks very hard to beat.
Yeah, he does. He does. You know, it's only a small field, but you know, I think any one of the runners could win it. So Squire's probably the hardest to beat.
Okay, race 7. You had the choice of drives here: Left to Terra and Witch Hunt. You've opted for Left to Terra. He's fresh up. He's drawn gate 2. What are the expectations?
Yeah, look, he, yeah, I think he's first up in a little bit, but Charlie and Chrissy, you know, they have him sort of ready to go. So he's, you know, it's probably the right grade race for him. So I'm sure he'll run a good race.
He does excel over the mile as well.
Yeah, he does like the short trips. So, you know, short trip and a good draw. So he should go well.
And the small field's going to help?
Yeah, definitely. Yep.
Okay. Race number 8, Do Little Doozy. She's on the back up after winning on Wednesday night. You sat behind her on Wednesday night and she duly saluted leading all of the way. Can she go back to back?
Yeah, look, it sort of looks a nice race for her. There's probably a few chances there, but she's got the good draw and that, so hopefully she can, you know, get full advantage of it.
Is the main danger drawn directly behind you, speed of sound?
Yeah, it probably is, you know. It's been racing well too, so yeah, it's probably the hardest to beat.
Okay. We saved the best till last because the free-for-all is the final race here on the weekend. Turn It Up. Gate 6, that's a good draw. Anywhere off the front's a good draw with Turn It Up.
Yeah, I guess so. You know, that's what, you know, with his gate speed, you just want to be off the front. So, you know, it's probably, you know, most you're sort of not that happy with it, but for him, it's a good one.
How good did he feel winning the Christmas Cup last time out?
Yeah, he felt real good. He, you know, I know he got it easy and whatnot, but to still get home in a 26 called over 2600, you know, it's full of merit. So, you know, at the moment he just seems to be very sound and everything's touchwood seems to be going good with him. So hopefully, yeah, he'll be right to go again.
Okay, so he's come out of that race really well?
He has, yeah. No, he's he pulled up good, like especially racing week to week. You know, we don't like to do it with him too often, but he pulled up terrific, and he's touchwood, he's 110%.
Just looking at that free shot there when he crossed the line, it takes me back to the night. He looked a picture of health that night, so he's obviously healthy, happy, and just loving life at the moment.
Yeah, that's right. You know, he's a frustrating horse, but you know, when he is right and everything's good with him, he's awesome. So we're just got to hope he stays that way for a bit longer.
Do you expect horses like Zarvin Banner, Ideal World, Northview Hustler to try and match it with you early?
Yeah, I'd say so. You know, like especially, you know, they're, well, Ideal World and, you know, Northview Hustler, they're very good horses over the mile and like to lead, you know, so they'll probably, you know, they'll be trying their best to come out, but yeah, look, he's that quick off the arm. I think he should nearly get across him still.
Okay, away from Turn It Up, which drive are you looking forward to most?
Oh, probably Sweet Gemma. You know, I think she should improve on her first up run. So if she does do that a little bit, she should be hard to beat.
Okay, we'll put the daily double down. Sweet Gemma into Turn It Up. Shane Graham, as always, really appreciate the time. We'll see you trackside.
No worries. Thanks, Chris.
As always, a big thanks to both Brendan and Shane giving up their time and insight, and we wish them the best of luck for the first meeting of the new year. Time now for a good gamble. I think it's fairly obvious this weekend. Hopefully we can start with a good thing for 2022. We're going to mark race 6, number 3, Squire, as the best bet. This guy's in super form. His last start effort in the Redcliffe Christmas Cup behind LL Cool J was excellent, and the times out of that race were really strong. He can take this. This is certainly no harder. Race 6, number 3, Squire. That's our best bet for Albion Park on the first night of the new year. We'll see you trackside, the first of 9 repeating at 5:12. And if you are having a bet, please do so responsibly.